Hello and welcome to Fates of Ort. Yeah, we're doing it. I like to do some single player games. I guess what does it single player even mean? I guess what I mean like campaign based games for the channel occasionally. It feels nice to finish something, And when I record, it kind of I guess it um, commits me to finishing it. So it's kind of a win-win for me. It's a maybe win for you because you get to watch me play something a little bit different. I like to keep things fairly old school on this channel, and I think that Fates of Ort really fits in that niche. I am going to start a new game, so I'm actually going to delete this second one here. And I mean, I'm more or less going to play it exactly the same. I think I probably do want to build them exactly the same and take the same choices, but I'm going to be a bit more methodical, and I'm going to make an effort to read as much as I can to kind of respect the story, to give it a bit of space, because I think the story is interesting, and I really zoomed by it in the Let's Try in favor of looking at mechanics. I am going to talk a little bit about what I missed in the Let's Try, because there was at least one major mechanic that I missed, but we'll get to it later. I guess I'll talk about it right now. There's not really any reason to save it, but really it's just that magic costs life to use. So that was something I missed in the Let's Try, and that's a fairly major mechanic. They even mention it in the trailer as being something important. So I kind of like this cloak. We'll use this cloak. We're not gonna do that. We're gonna do our treat this as a normal playthrough. I'm not gonna be hardcore about this. I'm just gonna explore at my own pace, and we're gonna see if we can't beat Fates of Ort, because I think it deserves that. I think it's really cool so far. Valka, your sister, greets you with a smile and a raised eyebrow. She stands with a hand on her hip, bow slung over her shoulder. Well, 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 I heard you were joining the academy, but I didn't believe it until I saw you walk through the door. What changed your mind? Farming just wasn't exciting enough. So you're trading the plow for a blade, huh? I don't know. I always thought your talents qualified you for scarecrow duties at best. She laughs warmly, then adds, I'm just kidding. I'm really happy you're here. I can't wait to introduce you to Arg and Master Slovo. Speaking of, let's go see Arg. He's upstairs in the training room. Perhaps he'll show you a thing or two. Follow me. I saw one person mention that they didn't like that movement was mouse based. I didn't honestly. The thought had not even really occurred to me. What is this? Get rid of it. The thought really hadn't occurred to me that would be a preference thing, but I do get it, and it is something that you have to kind of get used to. So I can appreciate that. I guess it doesn't occur to me because combat doesn't really rely on the movement as much as direction of your attacks, but we'll get into it later. As you gain sight of the training room, you catch the swordsman performing his finishing move, cleaving the practice target in half. He turns to you with a smile, wiping sweat off his brow. Greetings, Valka told me all about you. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Arogest Mortifex. Yes, of the Mortifex of royal family. But being a distant relative to the king isn't my claim to fame, he says with a wink as he grabs a blade and flings it in the air. It lands squarely in the middle of the room, tip embedded in the wooden floor. You can call me Arg. He gestures to the sword. Let's see what you're made of, huh? Know your way around a blade? I'm sure I'll figure it out. All right, that's the spirit. I won't interfere then. You pick it up and go wild. A plain-looking blade, standard issue for novices at the academy. It looks like it has been used for many years. I am going to play this first playthrough, and I say first playthrough tentatively. I don't know if I'll be doing a second one for the channel, although maybe I will, depending on how popular the series is, and also depending on how much I enjoy the game. But I know there is a probable light and dark path, judging by the beginning of this game, giving you kind of an instant moral choice on what kind of magic you're using. But we'll get to that later. I do want to play the things fairly morally pure. That thing didn't know what hit it. Let's try a moving one. Now I understand this this movement here is important. Let's try again, a bit harder this time. But most combat in this game relies on you kind of timing your projectiles, and less so on timing your like sword attack. This seems like, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is something that changes. Hiya, you've got talent, kid. I don't know about you, but I'm parched. Let's head downstairs and grab a drink, shall we? So we're off to get our first beverage. We're of age, I'm sure. The student nods when you approach him to ask for a drink, reaching behind a barrel. He produces 2 bottles and hands them to you. Don't worry, I can see the 19.99 on your... I can see the 9 on your card, so you're good to go. Don't worry about it. Cheers, Arg whoops as your bottles collide, and welcome to the academy. We'll make a warrior out of you, you'll see. Chug. Drank. Slurp. Valka rounds the corner and rolls her eyes as she spots you in the middle of a large gulp. I see Arg is sharing his finest skills already. Hurry. You dopes. Master Slovo is about to welcome you to the academy. At once, Arg snaps to attention with a laugh, then ushers you out of the tap room. Let's go. We can't keep Master Slovo waiting. I want to know what kind of helmet that is. That looks like a really cool helmet. It looks like it has 3 spikes on it. Ah, our newest recruit, the master of the academy, welcomes you. An old man, you sense a lifetime of scholarly accomplishment in the dignified way he carries himself. He glances at the sword you are carrying. I see you have acquainted yourself with our resident blade master already. That is good. Dark times are coming, and we'll need fighters. I will now formally induct you into the academy. In the names of the sisters, goddesses, and creators of Ort, I beseech Asi, Aluma, giver of life, to bless your new beginning, Meyer Akuria, beacon of the mind, to illuminate your path, and Shal Molak, the shadow, to protect you from an untimely death. Master Slovo is violently interrupted by a loud crash. The ground trembles, and a chasm appears in the ground, where the tiles crumbled away. Out of the purple darkness spill vicious demons, clawing at everyone nearby. Arg raises his sword and shouts, "To arms!" Valka, drawing her bow, roars, "Protect Master Slovo!" Easy peasy. Got plenty of XP there. With the demons defeated, a look of panic is mirrored on all of the faces in the hall. Master Slovo appears to be shaken most severely, and he whispers with fear, "It has already begun." Looking to Valka and Arg, he commands, "I thought we had more time to prepare. I must fetch something from my study. Meet me in the library. I will explain everything there." "Come with us," Valka shouts as she grabs you by the sleeve. As you rush past, Master Slovo is halfway up the stairs. He turns his head, eyes meeting yours. "You, Valka and Argus, are our best fighters. In a moment I will fetch something that will give one of them a great power to stop what is coming. I know you are inexperienced, but you must do what you can to help them. They are our only hopes. Curses, I thought I had more time to prepare. Meet me in the library, I will explain everything," he shouts as he disappears up the stairs. Devastation. I do appreciate how quick this game is to just kind of get into it. Not that, long introductions aren't a bad thing. They can do a lot for story, world building. But sometimes it can feel like a lot as you're just beginning the game. What is going on? Arg breaks the silence, voice trembling. His joking demeanor has been replaced by a determined gravity. And why did we let Master Slovo go off on his own? I should go get him. What if more demons appear? And what if he falls through the floor? Valka, as serious as Arg, shuts him down. "We have our orders. You two stay here and wait for Master Slovo. I think I've read something about this before. I'm going to go looking for the book." That isn't Slovo. A man, flanked by 2 stone-faced knights, strides into the library, his clothing looking to be of an ancient fashion, yet undeniably of the highest quality. He wears the contemptuous sneer of a noble forced to interact with those beneath him. One of the knights barks an introduction. Duke Camersalt, Mortifax." Arg's jaw drops. "Mortifax?" He clears his throat and responds, "I am Aragast, Mortifax, distant relative to the king. It is a pleasure to meet you, Duke Camersault. Are you here to assist us with the demons? The Duke's lips curl into an unsettling grin. Oh, certainly, young Aragast. And more I offer you. He glances at both you and Arg. Power beyond the confines of your imagination. I offer you magic. Arg gasps in shock. Magic? But I thought it was just legend. Stories about the sisters were just a creation myth. Duke waves his hands dismissively. Yes, it is true, but this magic is not of the sisters. This is more powerful. Free of constraint, none of the limits imposed by the sisters. He growls. Purple fires burn in his eyes. You can have it all, right now, with no sacrifice. Do you accept this gift that I offer? He looks at you both, awaiting an answer. No, I don't trust you. You almost begin to speak, but hesitate at the final moment. There is clearly something wrong about the man in front of you, and his promise of power seems like an obvious trap. But what if it isn't? Master Slovo is behaving like the world is in danger. And what if you reject the key to saving it? Reject the power anyway. Before you finish speaking, Arg blurts out, Yes, give me the power. The Duke raises his hand, and a purple flash of energy hits Arg in the chest. Next, he turns to face you with hateful eyes. Master Slovo comes running behind the Duke, horror plain on his face. No! Whatever he says, do not listen to him. He is the harbinger of consumption, evil magic, the antithesis of the sisters. Do not accept his magic. It will corrupt you. Already Arg has taken a knee, clearly struggling with the effects of consumption magic on his soul. Enough! Duke Camersault roars. Guards, seize this man. He is a traitor to Ort and the Mortifax kingdom. Take him to the court where he will stand trial for his crimes. What? Excuse me? Master Slovo, struggling against the knights, holds up a crystal in the shape of a teardrop, shouting desperately, Arg, catch this. It will take you to the sisters. You are our only hope. He throws it. The crystal sails through the air, missing Arg. You instinctively reach up and catch it. As your hand closes around the crystal, you feel the tug of another dimension. The last thing you see before you fade away is the Duke pointing at you, snarling, Kill that one. Kill everyone that refuses consumption. The scorned will not be rejected anymore. Goodbye, mortals. Fools. Oh, shoot. I'm supposed to be the good guy. Oops. In front of you stands an old lady, leaning on her cane. Her eyes are squinting as you approach, apparently appraising you. As you get closer, she rolls her eyes with exasperation. You look confused about why you're here. Her scratchy voice begins. Believe me, so am I. I expected a champion, a hero. She briefly gazes behind her, where the path splits into three. Instead, we get you. You are to carry the power, the very essence of one of my daughters. Where am I? Oh, don't bother yourself with that too much, dear. You are in a void beyond and above the world you are accustomed to. We created it when we had to flee reality a few centuries ago. It'll be sent back as soon as you gain the power of one of my daughters. Gain the power of your daughter? Yes, unfortunately it is necessary. Consumption has returned, awoken from its slumber. Yes, it threatens the world. But more importantly, it threatens my daughters as well. We need an agent of good to destroy consumption. Who are you? The old woman smiles. I am Old Mother. I have no need for a name. I wish to be nothing more than the mother of my children. Do not bother with the reverence for me, as it was my darling daughters that created your world. Carry the power of your daughters? What should I do now? Go speak to my daughters, get to know them, and choose the one that fits the best to accompany you. Her voice begins to tremble. Do not take this lightly. My daughters have nearly spent themselves protecting your world. Their creation, to give you enough power to stop consumption, she will have to give all of her energy to you. So now we make a choice. I can choose life, mind, or shadow. This one's life. Atop the column sits a young woman with flowing azure hair. She is carefree, playfully dangling her left leg off the side of the pillar. Flowers dance atop the palm of her hand, continually blooming in the blink of an eye. Hello. Hi there, pleased to meet you. She erupts in a rapid stream of energy. I am Asi Aluma. But some call me Life. Or maybe it's Asai Aluma. I love beginnings, so I am overjoyed to make your acquaintance. It will be so much fun to explore the world with you and meet new people. I can come, please? I kind of want to do mind. I think life would be fine, but I'm not sure if it suits my playstyle. I feel like mind would probably be better if I'm going by what kind of playstyle, like just assuming some kind of theme. I think I will go with mind. The woman sits on the chair, methodically flicking through the pages of some ancient tome. Her posture is strict, her expression severe. She lifts her eyes to appraise you, making you feel insignificant as her gaze takes the measure of your character. Hello. Well met. I am the aspect of the mind, but you may call me Meyer Acuria. You do not strike me as the archetypal hero, she states flatly. Your presence is plain, as is your lack of experience, yet you assuredly possess at least some measure of integrity, potential. Very well. Shall I accompany you now then? Yes, let's go. Also, I find it, it just makes more sense to have a wise god following you rather than, one who is, I don't know, maybe, I don't know, I guess I can't assume that the life isn't wise, just less prone to, analysis? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Valka, standing over Arg, grasps as you materialize back in the library. She hugs you, crying tears of relief. I dealt with the knights after the Duke left. Barely, she says through gritted teeth. By the time I finished, he had already corrupted everyone and killed those who refused to accept his gift. Come, we must save Master Slovo and figure out a way to cleanse Arg's soul. She pauses for a moment. What happened to you? I met the sisters. She stares at you with an expression of utter incredulity. You mean to tell me that not only are the sisters real, but you met them in person? I don't know what to make of that, honestly. I believe you, I guess. It's all just a bit much. I received magic. You have magic? But I thought it wasn't real. How does it work? Catching the expression on your face, she nods. We really need to rescue Master Slovo. He must know what to do. Okay. Let's go. Rescue Slovo. And this begins our journey into Ort. I don't know, like, in terms of, like, pacing, how long I'll make these episodes. I guess, like, whatever makes sense. I like to keep things to, like, half an hour, but maybe an hour makes more sense for something like this. I guess for people who are actually interested in watching this, it won't really matter how long I make this. So long as I'm, like, kind of consistently uploading stuff. So, just thinking out loud, you don't know any spells yet. I gotcha. Maybe, like, if I can complete one quest, that would be nice. I didn't actually complete, I think, any quest in the Let's Try. There you are, Duke Camersault says, with a smug grin on his face. I think I know where you disappeared to, and I know that's not good news. In the interest of expediency, I will now kill you. Looking over at Valka, he adds, both of you. Valka swiftly and quietly readies her bow, but she is not fast enough. The fatal spell hits her with tremendous force, dropping her dead on the spot. Bastard! How could you? Ouch! You took 900 damage. You are dead. Tarcomendo. Dead already. The old woman scowls at you with fury in her eyes. You think you can take one of my daughters and just die? She snarls. You matter now, and you have a task to fulfill. Get back there and destroy consumption. Then you can die for all I care. You feel reality tugging on you, and the vision of the old woman fades as you materialize in the real world once more. I have a feeling that both the dwelling place of the sisters and, like, this place are both moons, because there's like 16 moons or something crazy, right? Do we have anything cool? Nope. The old man looks like he has seen a ghost, shifting his gaze between you and the shimmering spike next to you. He exclaims, "What? Where did you come from?" I'm not sure. It was cold, windy, and confusing. The old man listens to your story wide-eyed. Remarkable, he whispers as he gently touches the shimmering spike. You died, went to the land of spirits, and came back. How did you find your way? Old mother sent me. I have the power of one of her daughters. His jaw drops, and his eyes go moist with emotion. I've studied this for so long. I never stopped believing in the sisters. Listen, child, I don't know who you are or why they chose you, but if it is true that you have the power of one of the sisters, then you are the only one that can stop Duke Camersault and the consumption he is unleashing on Ort. Do not speak of magic or the sisters, old or old mother. People will not believe you, as they have long since forgotten. I have been mocked all my life for my research, but, he waves dismissively, no matter. We must focus on the task at hand. He clasps you by the shoulders. I am Decord, scholar of the fates and the lost magics. What happened to my sister? Shakes his head. I am sorry, my friend. She had perished when I found her a few days ago. I arranged for her to be moved to a nearby mausoleum. It is not far, slightly west of here, past the chroniclary. You can say your farewell to her there. Slightly west. Okay. I think I will want to go say goodbye. A few days ago. How long have I been gone? The old man scratches his head. A week at least, he says, studying your expression. Judging by your reaction, it seems you feel you were only gone momentarily. How fascinating. I will bring my sister back. If I can come back, so can she. Most would scoff at you, or accuse you of blasphemy. Seeing what I have seen here today, I know better, but this is beyond my expertise. I will be happy to share my knowledge with you. Perhaps it will be of some assistance. That sounds good. I have taken to residing in the chroniclary. Come see me there. I will tell you everything I know to help you on your quest. The custodian of the chroniclary will almost certainly be of great help as well. You must speak to her. Simply walk west from here and you will find it. But beware, the roads are dangerous now. Rogue knights, brigands, even corrupted monsters and demons from below. What is going on? Duke Camersault has been posing as a distant relative of King Soliban. Really, I believe the Duke is the very same person implicated as playing a major part in the cataclysm that took place hundreds of years ago. How he has survived or why he has returned now, I know not. It is clear, however, that not only does he possess magic, but it is fueled by consumption, a polar opposite of the magic of the sisters. Duke Camersault has been touring Ort, offering this tremendous power to anyone he meets, promising limitless wealth, knowledge, and anything else one might desire. Those that accept transform into hideous monsters as soon as they attempt to use the magic. Those that refuse are slain or forced to flee. Worse yet, anybody that uses consumption magic directly bypasses the link imposed by the sisters. Normal magic requires the life energy of the caster, thus limiting its use. Consumption magic, on the other hand, draws directly on the very fabric of our world. Holes into the abyss have started forming around the world, centered in our capital city. If this goes on, our whole world will be consumed. Duke Camersault and whatever is providing his consumption magic must be stopped. Where do we begin? I have taken to residing. Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna go west. Let's have a. We don't have a map yet. We're gonna go west. West is a weird concept when we're working with an isometric grid. Can talk to this guy. The woman cranes her neck to one side and grins menacingly. Don't worry, I'm your savior, the one that will cleanse the world of evil. You will see, and you will kneel before me. Did you speak to the Duke by any chance? She laughs, nodding vigorously. Yes, he has given me power, tremendous power. She raises her arms, purple sparks flickering over her fingertips. Her crazed face turns to shock, and she begins to convulse. She stutters before dropping to the ground in a horrifying display of bones snapping into new alignments and flesh rippling into a new composition. You watch her transform into a monster. Yeah, that happens. Oof. Sorry. Sucks. That's life. Or death in your case. You know, sometimes you're just a weird old lady that likes to yell at service workers, and then the next second you're being consumed by consumption and turning into a monster. The man looks at you anxiously as you enter his house. You're not one of them, are you? What do you mean? Ever since the royal visit here, people have been acting strange. I hid when they knocked on the door. Had a bad feeling about it all. His voice trembles and he starts fighting tears. My brother turned into some sort of monster, a plant spewing green spores. My wife is acting strange too. They both spoke to that evil-looking man. Duke Camersault. Yeah, that's his name. We have to get out of here. I heard Dormancourt is in ruins, but Trawad is nearby. It might still be safe. Take me with you. The man is interrupted by a violent rupture in the ground. He is swallowed by the chasm appearing in the floor. Oh, that's life sometimes. Or death in your case. Sometimes you're a cowardly man who didn't accept consumption, sipping away at your latte, and the next second you're consumed by the open earth, plunged straight into purple hell. You feel overwhelmed. Valka is dead. Arg is on the brink of consumption. Master Slovo has been hauled off to stand trial for crimes he did not commit. The world is crumbling, and it is up to you to save it. With no help or guidance, where do you even begin? If you feel stuck or don't know what to do, the answer is almost always explore more. Your actions will open up paths for some quests and block off others. Keep exploring and gaining experience. When you're ready to face the end, head to Dormancourt and take on the consumption magic of the Scorned and Duke Commersalt. Okay, I actually don't think I read that part the first time I played this game because I hadn't been as thorough. And so good to know, actually. So we're going to be fighting for a little bit. This is going to be kind of a chill game for a little while because I don't think anything is going to be that strategic for quite a long time. Not until I get some spells, It's going to be pretty easy going. Ouch. So you're just kind of here stuck with me. I'll read what there is to read, but outside of that, it's me moving around and right-clicking things to kill. I'm also going to try and, crack open any boxes I see, any jars. I guess I can generally talk about, my experiences regarding these type of games and, games in general. Is there somewhere to go over here? This is the path to Dormancourt, you think. You are not very familiar with these parts of Ort. The words of the old man ring in your ears. He told you to visit the chroniclery and speak to its custodian. If there is a place to find a map, that would be it. You turn around and spot the top of a building peering up over the trees a short distance to the northwest. That must be it. Okay, so that's Dormancourt over there. Two men stand, appraising you with skeptical expressions. What's this? The taller one says. You think you're a hero? Ha! The shorter one adds. You're still fighting maggots, the taller one scoffs. Maggots, the short one echoes. Who are you? They puff up with pride. We're the heroes of Ort, the tall one begins. We're heading to Dormancourt to defeat Duke Commersalt and consumption. You'll see. You'll see, the small one repeats. Best you turn back. It's too dangerous for the likes of you. Leave it to the real heroes. Yeah. Sure. So we're almost level 2. We'll get our first spell pretty soon. So I'm pretty sure one of the reasons I didn't know about spells consuming magic is because I actually accepted consumption the first time I played. And I'm pretty sure, from what I could tell, is it did exactly what it described. Oof, almost got hit by that. Is instead of consuming your health, it destroys the landscape, which is kind of amazing. I kind of appreciate that is an effect that they the dev programmed into this game. I have to assume these kind of labors of love are generally very small teams. I'm gonna go back because I want to level up. Here we go. We're gonna get our first spell. There you are, child. You took long enough. She chides. I set up in this area for you. I gathered the spells I could find from days long gone. Many are missing, but these should be enough. Simply go up to a spell and select it to learn it. Once you have experienced enough to learn another, I will draw you back here. The barriers will disappear as you learn more. We need to protect your fledgling mind from the more powerful spells you see. Okay. So what kind of spell do we get? Bolts of arcane power are the combat staple of a competent magician's arsenal. These deadly projectiles burst on impact, dealing damage to any. So yeah, this first spell is exactly the same for every single magic school of magic. And I mean that's to be expected because it's harder to balance a game where your main form of damage is different. Is my take. It looks exactly the same, has the same... Well, it doesn't look... It looks slightly different. To be fair, it isn't exactly the same. it does look different, but it has the same range. It has the same like area of effect. It's functionally exactly the same. Oh, cool. I didn't know we could. Okay, that's actually really cool. We can do a quick select. So I'm going to go west. I'm going to visit my sister's grave. Maybe we'll call it there. I don't know. Really depends. I feel like going on. The little creature jumps as you approach. Hoy there! Stand back. I have an entropic transducer, and I'm not afraid to use it. You stand back. Gah! The creature smacks the ground with a metallic implement. I don't have an entropic transducer. I have nothing of value, and I definitely don't want to fight. I'm a lover of science, not brainless violence. No offense. That's alright, I don't want to fight either. Creature relaxes. Thank goodness. I was beginning to think this place was populated by nothing but mean, dim-witted ooze pukes. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Brax, first-class navigator of the Exalted Gyronauts, 2nd Cog Division. The creature puffs his chest up, clearly proud over his rank. How did you get a ship over here? By flying it, of course. Well, granted, our technology is probably quite alien to you, eh? Must seem like magic. Why are you here? Our seismic monitoring units detected some extraordinary subsurface tremors emanating from this very region. I've been on a handful of expeditions before, so I was sent to investigate. I didn't get very far, though, so... no, not at all. Shot down in a manner most inconsiderate. What happened? I was approaching from the north, bearing towards the origin of the tremors, a little bit south of here. I was cruising at a low altitude when I went past a giant black tower. Curiosity got the better of me, and I got too close. Then, bam! A white lightning from the top of the tower struck my ship, knocked out my prismatic aether coil, and my navigator to boot. I managed to crash land here. Can I help you somehow? That would be most splendid. Take this prismatic aether coil and get it repaired for me, please. It's not damaged badly. Any blacksmith here with the right tools ought to be able to straighten it out. I pray. In return, I offer to ferry you to some locations not easily accessible on foot. From a bird's eye view, I can assure you they would be very interesting to explore for an adventure of your stature. Very interesting indeed. Okay. So I have to assume that these purple chasms are opening up because someone who had accepted corruption is using magic, which would also like slightly destroy the world, which is kind of neat. But then if they use magic a bit too much, I guess they become consumed, and therefore they turn into a monster. And then that's why there's so many monsters filling the landscape. And you know what? I do appreciate that there's like an actual explanation for some of the monsters in this game, because that is a fact that is kind of taken for granted in many games. Like, where are all these creatures coming from? It's just sort of a fact that the world is filled with things like kobolds and dragons. Where did they come from? A stern-looking woman stands near the entrance of this ancient library. Her clear eyes appraise you, and you find yourself softening your footsteps so as not to disturb the silence. Welcome to the Chroniclery, her voice is a whisper, yet clear as crystal, the oldest and greatest collection of books in all of Ort, or at least it used to be. What happened? Combination of poor stewardship and a lack of appreciation for the written world is my inference. This used to be the most impressive collection of books in the world. Well, I suppose it still is, she scoffs, but it is a shadow of its former glory. Can I look around? Feel free to visit the Chroniclery at any time. Read the books, but be careful. Some of the tombs are ancient and fragile, and do not think for one instance of taking any away without permission. I am the warden of these books. I may not have any armies at my disposal, but Maya Arcuria, mark my words, I will hunt you down and end your existence. Is there anything I can do to assist the Chroniclery? You look like an adventurer, perhaps even astute enough to appreciate the value of the written word, she smiles. If you find any books on your travels, bring them back here. Is there a reward? There's not much I can offer. I found a repository of old documents, maps, sea charts, musical notes, strange old scrolls. I would happily trade those in exchange for any books you may find. Here, why don't you take this? It's a map of the world. Supposedly it has magic properties. How does it work? A thirst for knowledge is admirable. See these faded pins on the map? She pauses for a moment, a look of confusion on her face. That's strange. The pin next to the academy isn't faded anymore. but you're supposed to need to have magic to use the map. I do have magic. Oh, she looks puzzled. Well then, the notes accompanying the map state that it can be used to instantaneously travel to certain fate spikes previously visited by the caster. That would be very useful indeed for someone with the magical capabilities to exploit it. What is a fate spike? We know what a fate spike is, but I guess I'll read it anyway. Fate spikes are large orange shimmering monuments scattered across Ort. They are thought to have been erected in worship of the sisters, but frankly, little of this information is verifiable through reputable sources. Some of them claim the fate spikes have truly fantastical properties. What are these properties? Well, we're just really getting into it here. Well, the librarian reaches for a book and scans it for a few moments. This passage here claims that the fate spikes were actually placed by the sisters. They can purportedly be used to revitalize and heal weary and injured magicians. It also theorizes that particularly strong magicians could use them for instant travel and even to prevent death. Like I said, fantastical. Thanks. Come back anytime. With books, preferably. So we have map and fast travel. That is super good. Super good. This guy I think is reading about lazy wizards. It's an old book on magic. She shows you the cover. Oh, sorry. This woman, Tabula Arcana, abridged version for the novice practitioner. Customary wizards prefer to expend as little effort as possible. The imbuing process as it relates to status effects cast on structures generated by the wizard is a perfect example of this. It says that wizards would cast spells to put creatures to sleep or slow them down, that sort of thing, but it implies that the wizards were lazy and instead would create structures like turrets, totems, and walls. Then they would cast spells like sleep or slow on those structures, which would imbue them with the ability to inflict those effects on other creatures, so the wizard wouldn't have to. I think laziness should be replaced with, like, that is a method of survival. It's not that they were lazy when they did this. It's that they had to do that. There's a hidden room here that I can't access. I just noticed. I wonder if I can access that later. I noticed the top tile kind of clips me slightly. In fact, the side tiles kind of clip me a little bit. It's kind of funny. The old man stands as absent-mindedly stroking his beard as he peruses a stack of dusty tomes. Well met, young one. Let us converse. He pauses to put a finger over his mouth and nods to the chroniclerian quietly. What do you know about magic? Magic was a gift from the sisters. To the people of Ort, balance is the key. It drew on the very life energy of the caster, thus requiring rest and recuperation between spells. It had some spectacular and even violent uses, but truth be told, it was mostly used for mundane applications like agriculture and construction. Balance can be discerned in the interaction between the three sisters. Their magic is stronger and weaker relative to each other. Asai Aluma's life force overwhelms the mind, yet fears the shadow. Myaracuria's mind banishes the shadow, though cannot withstand the force of life. Shal Molak's darkness destroys life, but is illuminated by the mind, so balance is maintained. What does this mean for you? Well, we are aligned to the sister one way or another. Hit a foe with the correct sister's power, and your attack will be multiplied. Hit them with the wrong one, and your damage will be diminished. Remember, balance as you go. Using magic will hurt you, though it seems you can regain your strength much faster than a mere mortal by approaching one of the fate spikes. You should vary your spells too, for using the same one repeatedly will gradually hurt you more and more. Okay, that's actually something I didn't know. How can I improve my magic? Learning additional spells would be useful, but I could not begin to know how to achieve that. Perhaps there are old records in Turcomundo, the Black Tower in the north. Otherwise, perhaps you might find some equipment with magical properties. Theoretically, you could align your resonance with certain energy patterns. This could increase your power as you gain momentum. That is hypothetical, of course. You would need some sort of instrument to achieve it. So we're pretty much done in terms of like reading stuff and like getting the thing started. I want to go to Turcomundo. Castle Mortifex is west. The Russ Mausoleum. This isn't very helpful, to be honest, that telling me that, because the map is just like straight up more helpful. Shrine. Court. The Rusts. I wanna like look around the map, but it's not really easy to do. Castle Craventhaw, Temple of the Fates, Corpa Range. So I guess as the game says, I should do some exploring. Troudao. And then this is, I don't know. I guess that that kind of looks like, well, that can't be. Yeah, that's Dramencourt. So this is like the beginnings of Dramencourt. So this is where corruption is coming from. This is it's a pretty big world to explore. So there should be a lot of content here. I guess let me click on this again. I think that the black tower that the that little dude described was actually the like over in the consumption land. Let me see this. Chroniclary, consumption. We know all of this stuff. This is our. Oh, these are our actual quests. Conquering the skies. The gnome named Brack was shot over the snowy plains by a mysterious contraption on top of a black tower. So never mind. I think he was shot north. There's also a quest around here for retrieving pieces of stone or like falling meteorites. I do want to get that before I venture off because then I can collect them as I go. This is a blacksmith? Whoops. Are you fleeing from Dormancourt? No. Oh, most people passing through here recently were. I think you should stay away from there. People are say a huge sinkhole opened up right in the middle of the city. Horrible monsters starting welling out of it. Used to be a capital city. I'm not sure what will become of it now. Everyone has fled. I will be hoping that I'm going to find a blacksmith at some point, but I'm sure the blacksmith isn't anywhere like accessible. It's like I'm going to have to go somewhere pretty out of the way in order to find it. But every single place I go to seems to have something resembling some kind of like smelter or oven. And so I'm always like hopeful. Is this it? Is this the blacksmith? Please. It's not the blacksmith. I won't ever be the blacksmith. Come here, slug. I see you. Ouch. That's not a slug. It's a spider. Ouch. I think that's the meteorite dude over there. The man stands gazing at the sky, head craned as far as it can go. You look up as well, taking in the sight of Ort's many moons, arranged in their familiar pattern. I'm looking at the moons, he says dreamily. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to wander on one of them? Every footprint, the first ever. You stand in silence for a while, both dreaming about it. What it would be like to wander on one of the moons. Suddenly one of the minor moons erupts in a silent explosion of black and purple. The man gasps in astonishment. The sky is streaked with bright balls of flame, long tails of thick smoke trailing behind them. One by one they strike the ground all over Ort. You both duck for cover as the last one crashes nearby. The man gets up excitedly. Did you see where it landed? Did you find it? Bring it to me. And now we go and collect meteorites till the end of time. And I would like to do that. I would like to collect, them. I think this takes 3 shots, 4 shots, 5 shots. Wow. Ooh, but we get some boots maybe. I'm going to have to go over there and get some boots. Get some booty shoes. I want my booty shoes. How are you doing? You've made it past the 40-minute mark. Welcome to the exclusive 40-minute mark. You are now inducted into a 40-minute club. Very exclusive. You get a badge and everything. One person is gonna like, I want a badge. Where's my badge? I'd like to think I provide decent-ish background noise, especially with a game where I'm doing lots of reading. Seems like Seems pretty good. Wait, did I get my shoes? There's some shoes there. Oh no. Did I get the shoes? Well, I got a rock. I think I probably got better shoes than that. Grand Chute Boots is destroyed. Oh no. Plain abominable grand boots is destroyed, rewarding you with 15 experience as it evaporates. So if you don't get to an item quickly enough, it disappears, and then you get just like experience instead. I guess that's nice. I think that equipment is kind of RNG based, because I definitely think I got some equipment sometime. Like in my first playthrough, I got lots of equipment, and in this, the Let's Try and this one, I got very little. Gah, the elderly man exclaims as you enter his house. What makes you think you can just barge in like this? Don't touch anything. I already touched everything. Oh no, not everything, the old man exclaims. Everything. Did you touch? Yes. Did all of the boots disappear? Did I get no boots? I want boots. This is now the quest for boots. I seem to have a lot of quests for boots. In Caves of Cud, in most games. Oh, there's an actual demon. Kill. Easy peasy. Demon squeezy. Ooh. Ooh, this house got hit bad. Pretty bad. It's a lot of demons in here. I don't think I ever went into this house. I guess so. Like one would ask, if you can cast spells, why would you use your sword? Well, the answer is because if I kill with the sword, if I can kill with the sword without taking any damage, then I will take less damage than if I use magic. And for the first little while, it would benefit us to use our sword instead of casting spells, because that's casting spells is only going to chip away at our health. But in situations like this, where I know using my sword would be a problem, I will certainly use spells. Doesn't use that much health. And apparently you do get a little bit back from killing things. Just a little bit, not a lot. Oh, there's a cemetery. This might be a good wrapping up place, because we can find our sister's cemetery, or tomb. Maybe? No, that doesn't seem to be the case. Well, this is the mausoleum. I don't think I've been in here. Ort has many moons. Oh, there's my sister on the table there. The man standing in front of you inspires a strong sense of nausea. His skin is untouched by the sun and has a sickening purple tinge. You spot a couple of large bones protruding from his rucksack. Greetings, he says with an ingratiating smile. What is this place? This is my home. It is also the finest mausoleum in all of Ort. Why would you live in a place like this? It is the perfect place to live and not live, as the case may be, he chortles. Besides, what better place for an avid collector like myself? I am a collector of bones, old or new, large or small. He pauses to grin for a moment. They are all unique. Every bone tells a story. There's something so uncouth about the living. Lies, bias, pride. Bones may speak very little, but what they do say is always the truth. His smile fades once he's done speaking. I'll do anything if you help me bring my sister back. Anything? He hisses menacingly. Maybe. I do not belong here. There is a place, on another plane, where bones walk. That is where I wish to be. I have conducted many experiments, none of them fruitful. What kind of experiments? He grins, and the smile makes you even more uncomfortable than before. You wouldn't understand. He trails off for a moment. They are as silent as if they were still mere bones. Their hollow eyes just stare at me. I thought they wouldn't help me, but I was wrong. They can't. Who can? I need the bones of a royal. That's the key. They will speak the words to open the door for me. When I get to the other side, I can arrange to bring your sister back. The true king resides there. He has the power. Where can I find royal bones? In the crypts of Castle Mortifax. I went there myself, but the king wouldn't even see me. The day when his tongue rots cannot come soon enough. How old is he anyway? He ponders. In any case, Castle Mortifax lies southwest of here. Alright, I'll get you a royal bone. Oh, I can open that, not other things. Oh, I can go underground? I can go into the tomb. What's down here? I don't think I went down here before. Oh, there's skeletons. Spooky skeletons. Let's see how... Oh, they seem to die rather easy. I was worried that this was going to be a place I'm not ready for. A la catacombs. Hey, excuse me? They're alive again. Okay. So they come back to life. We could do a little bit of exploring here, but I'm getting the sense that I was correct in my first assumption that this is not a place to be trifled with. Oh, boots! No! I got some boots. My quest is over. I'm really low on health, and I'm being chased down by several skeletons. Oh god. I'm hoping if I kill that guy, it... Oh, he dropped something and I didn't pick it up. Plain Alarian band is destroyed, rewarding you with 15 XP. Gosh. Well, that sucks. So what's this? North, southwest, Castle Mortifax, the Russ, Trowada Village. I guess we could head that way. But I guess this is a good place to stop. We visited our sister. We've pretty much crossed out every box in terms of the beginning storyline. We have some quest items. A bit of one of the Earth's moons. I should take this to the Stargazer near the Chroniclary. Yeah, we've pretty much talked to, you know, everyone. And I will continue to do so. I hope that that's okay. You know, like, I want to respect the story, you know, where I can. Because after all, there's going to be plenty of times where I'm just going to be doing combat and talking about who cares, whatever. And, you know, I figure filling the void with the actual story of the game is kind of a nice thing for people. I guess something that is concerning for me is I am a little bit close to death. So maybe before we end, I should get to a fate spike. So we'll head southeast to Mortifax because I know that there's a fate spike there. We can't, yeah, we definitely recover health when we kill things. So I think what we want, ooh, that was close. We want to get as many things into our spell range as possible. Ouch. See, that was bad. I took like 100 damage there. You wanna kill without taking damage. I mean, that makes sense, of course, but that's extra true in this game because doing so, you'll be able to recover yourself a little bit. Just a little bit. Aw, man, I thought I could get both of them with that attack. Shoot. So I guess this first episode is going to be an hour long. Didn't really intend for that to be the case, but I figure since we are so close to death, I would hate to, you know, split a potential death off from, like, I don't know. I guess I'd like to close the loop a little bit on this and make sure that I don't start the next episode by dying. That would be dumb. But hey, we leveled up and we're going to get a new spell. So what is this? Soul curses are blasts of magic which grip the spirit. Asai Aluma grows hot, scalding the target with a magical burn. Maya Akuria injects a terror which causes them to flee in fear. Shal Mala. Oh, they are different. So depending on which sister you have, these are all different. So what does this one do? Maya Akuria uses her influence coaxing the subject to fight its own allies. I would like that. That actually was what I wanted the first playthrough, but I didn't really understand that, like, why it didn't do that. So I'm actually really excited now for this. That guy looks tough, so I'm actually going to use a couple of spells. You can kill yourself if you use too many spells, but that guy was tough, as I predicted. So I'm glad I did that. And it makes no sense to persuade that person because I'm sure they're not permanently under your influence. They, eventually they're, oh, that guy, that looks tough. Eventually they're gonna not be under your influence. This looks really tough. I think I want to avoid those guys. I just want to make a beeline for Castle Mortifex. Oof. There's an ogre. Where am I? Did I somehow miss current location? Okay, so if I go south, then Bone Collector. Then we'll be at the Bone Collector. I think I probably took a really spicy route. I don't know if we should be going to Castle Mortifex yet, but it's okay. If I'm careful and avoid stuff like that guy over there, then I should be okay. I suppose I could influence him to kill the rangers, but I'd rather... oh, there's the Fate Spike. Nice. Castle Mortifex is enormous. I heard King Solobon's throne room is overflowing with gold. They say he used to be a fierce warrior when he was younger, but when was that? I can't remember. How old is he? Maybe with enough gold you can buy eternal life. Ha. So there's our Fate Spike, and we're up to speed. Let's look at our boots. +2 defense, monster vision reduced. That sounds great. This is thorns reflect 5% of damage, 3% chance to evade, +2 defense. That also sounds amazing. I think I'll wear these because that is all like really good. This one is like not as good. I don't mind if monsters have vision. And that is going to wrap it up. That's a nice clean hour of Fates of Ort, which makes sense. It's a very story-heavy game, and so therefore there's going to be... it's going to take longer to kind of chew through things. I'm pretty happy with this first episode. Nicely, wraps everything up in a bow and sets us up for the next episode. I don't know what I want to do first, but I might check out Castle Mortifex. It might be that there's a fun quest there. But there's going to be a lot of wandering around to complete quests, I think, for the first little while anyway. I have a funny feeling that the mechanics are going to develop and become a lot more deep than what they appear right now, which is just kind of casting spells. I have a funny feeling that you will eventually be able to like plant turrets and stuff, which could be really cool. I hope you enjoyed this episode and look forward to more. Definitely let me know if you are, because that will definitely influence my likeliness to do a second playthrough or, I don't know, continue this playthrough. I do want to do it, but, it certainly helps knowing that people are actually enjoying your stuff. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy.